Hello students, this is Wilson. Welcome to Physics for Backbenchers YouTube channel. And this is my fourth video lecture from Living World chapter. And every day we will upload all the content from all the chapters. So you need to prepare in a proper way for 2002 NEET examination. And please do subscribe our channel and share to your friends. And today I'm going to do the topic is taxonomic categories. In last class we discussed and how to classify the organisms and what are the rules and regulations are present according to ICPN and ICJN. And in this class we're going to study taxonomic categories. So definitely let us see. Classification involves hierarchy of steps. So let us see here. That means if you want to classify all organisms, there are 1.7 to 1.8 millions of organisms are there. If you want to classify these organisms, so there are this classification involves hierarchy of steps. What is mean by hierarchy? Hierarchy means systematic organization of organisms into levels. This is called hierarchy. So once again listen here, what is meant by hierarchy? Classification leads to hierarchy and hierarchy means systematic organization of organisms into different levels. That means these organisms can be added into different levels or different steps. This is called hierarchy. So classification leads to hierarchy, and in this one what happened here, each steps which represent a rank. So that step which represent a rank or a what you call category of organism. So this rank also known as a taxonomic category or taxon. All categories together called as taxonomic hierarchy. So once again listen here, all organisms can be grouped and all these categories together constitute a taxonomic hierarchy. So where in this taxonomic hierarchy, each taxon represents a unit of classification. So remember, taxa means it is a plural word. Taxon means singular, and it represents a unit of classification. So that is the reason if you want to classify all these organisms can be arranged into different groups, which are also known as the taxonomic hierarchy, where each taxon represents a unit of a classification. So in this living world chapter is one of the most important topic now. And from this content, they may frame different questions in NEET examination. So different categories are there, means species is there, genus is there, family is present, order is present, class is present, phylum is there, and kingdom is there. So from this one, so they may will ask you different questions in NEET examination. So most of the students they may get confusion to remember the hierarchy level from species to up to kingdom level. Now I'm going to give you a simple code to remember these what we call hierarchy of classification. So let us see here. Everyone knows Sachin. Do you know Sachin? Sachin is a god of cricket. Everyone knows that. So Sachin is considered as god of cricket. So now I will give the code to remember this hierarchy of classification. Remember, students, this is just for your understanding purpose in an easy manner. In an easy manner. So now I'm going to write here. Sachin is God for organizing cricket in a place of kingdom. Sachin is God for organizing cricket in a place of kingdom. By using this code, you can able to remember very easily this hierarchy from species to up to kingdom. So let us see how to remember based on this one. So where S stands for species and G stands for genus, F stands for family, O stands for order, and C stands for class. In case of the animals, you can say P stands for phylum, or in case of the plants, where it is an exception, you can say division. Division for the plants. And K stands for obviously here kingdom. So once again, listen here. Sachin is God for organizing cricket in a place of kingdom. So if you remember in a proper way, where S stands for species, G stands for genus, and F stands for family, O stands for order, C stands for class, P stands for phylum, uh, K stands for kingdom. So if you remember, if they will frame any kind of questions from this one, you can able to easily answer. It's very important. So now the entire chapter we are going to study here, and that entire chapter which depends on this one only. Species means what, and examples were here, and gender means what, family means what, and up to article kingdom. So how many organisms can be included? So finally, what I'm going to say, according to IUCN, there are 1.7 to 1.8 millions of organisms are there. All organisms can be grouped or categorized and into taxonomic hierarchy. So now let us see one by one. We are going to study here up from species to up to kingdom. So let us see what is mean by species. Everyone knows that the term species was coined by John Ray. Very simple. Species means it is a basic unit of classification. In examination point of view, they will ask you questions. Which is the basic unit of classification? Then answer is a species. Okay, and the hierarchy which starts with the species is the basic unit of classification. And how can you define species? Species means a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. This is called species. Suppose if you take the human beings, we all are human beings. Okay, we all are the individual organism, and even though we are human beings, but we show fundamental similarities. Okay, and one more important point, and these organisms, what you call here, capable of interbreed among themselves. That's one of the important point. Interbreeding is possible. Interbreeding can be takes place. Okay, means within the same species only, the organisms can able to interbreed. Okay, once again listen here. The term species was coined by John Ray, and it's a basic unit of classification. And but how can you define species? Species means a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. Okay, and so reproductive characters are there, morphological and reproductive characters are resemble here, and interbreeding among themselves and produce fertile offspring. Suppose if you take, suppose human beings are there. Human beings cannot be able to reproduce. Means the interbreeding cannot be happen between the human beings and other any kind of species of organisms. Okay, the organism if they belong to same species, then only they can able to interbreed and they produce the fertile offspring. Otherwise, which is not happen. Okay, And this biological concept of species was proposed by Mayer. Okay, in examination point of view, is very important. Which scientist given the term species? Then the answer is John Ray, and the basic unit of classification. And how can you define these species? A group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities are called species, and they are resemble in their morphological and reproductive characters, capable of interbreed among themselves. For example, for species, we'll take the example of Homo sapiens, where Homo means its genera and sapiens means species. Okay, and suppose if the monkeys are there, chimpanzees are there, all they are mentioned in this genera, and sapiens means species are different. Means all different kinds of species can similar species can be included in this genus. Okay. Now let us see how can you define this genus, which aggregates closely related species. So remember here, if there is a close relation between the species, that species can be added or included in this genus. How can you define this one? It's very simple. What you call here, genus means a closely related species. Okay, this genus consists of a group of related species, has more characters comparison. So example, already I told you, this is an example, Homo sapiens. And one more example in case of the plants to take here, potato is there, tomato is there, brinjal is there. All are mentioned in a genus is Solanum. So we'll take here example of Solanum is a common genus for this one, and we'll take example for this one, Solanum tuberosum. So it is a potato. As well as same genus is same, and next one is brinjal. Brinjal means melangina. Solanum melangina. And next one is a tomato. Genus is same, and next one is a Lycopersicum. Okay, that means potato, brinjal, and Lycopersicum. The potato, brinjal, and tomato are these are the similar species, which are all these species can be grouped or included in the genus of Solanum. The genus is same, but the species are different. So potato means Solanum tuberosum, brinjal means Solanum melangina, and tomato means Solanum lycopersicum. So let us see. We'll discuss one more example here, and here P stands for Panthera. So Panthera is a genus where different species can be included in this one. Panthera tigris. Suppose if you take this is Panthera tigris, and one more one is Panthera leo. So this is Panthera leo. Leo means lion, and tigris means tiger. And next one is Panthera pardus. Pardus means leopard. Leopard. Okay, and see this pardus is different species, and this leopard is different species, and this lion is belong to different species, and tiger is belong to different species. But there is a close relation among themselves, and this can be included in a genus called Panthera. Okay, I hope that you're understanding. So once again, just let's revise here. Species means a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities, and that is the basic unit of classification, and they can morphologically and reproductively they have similar characters, and they reproduce among themselves and produce fertile offspring. And biological concept was proposed by Mayer. This biological concept was proposed by Mayer. And genus means what? A group of closely related species is called genus. So whatever the examples we have taken here, Homo sapien, Homo means genus and sapiens means species. And in case of the plants, Solanum is the genus and Tuberosum, Melangina, and Lycopersicum, etc. and other species. So these are the related species which are included in the genus of Solanum. And next one is the Panthera is one more genus, and Panthera means Leo, Tigris, and Pardus. That means Pardus means leopard, and Leo means lion, and Tigris means tiger. So all these different species can be included in a genus of Panthera. Okay. So, in examination point of view, you need to have a proper idea what the difference between species and the genus with relevant examples as per NCERT is very important. We'll take next one is family. So how can you define family? So now just now only we discussed that hierarchy of taxonomic categories from species to up to kingdom, where we discussed species is completed. That means I'm going to write here species is over and genus is over. We discussed in the proper way. And next one, third one is family. Family means very simple. A group of related genera. A group of related genera with a lesser number of similarities compared to genus and species is called family. So, for example, we are taking here very simple. Family means what? A group of related genera is called family. Examples here, family, we are taking here Solanaceae includes Solanum genus. Under this Solanum genus, we discuss different species like Solanum tuberosum, Solanum melangina, and Solanum lycopersicum, etc. And one more genus we are taking here, that genus is Petunia, and another genus Datura. Okay, so all these different genus or different genera can be included in the family of Solanaceae. So Solanaceae family comprises Solanum and Petunia, etc. Okay. And one more example here in case of the animals, when you see here, family Felidae. Okay. Panthera is one more genus, and one more genus is a Felis. So in this one, see here, cat. Cat is belong to the genus is a Felis. So cat genus is a Felis. So there is a quotation earlier who had the cat and the tiger, they belong to the same family. Yes, they belong to same family, but they are different genera. Our cat genus is different, and the tiger genus is different. Okay, so this cat belong to Felis genus, and that tiger belong to Panthera genus. But these both the Panthera and Felis can be included in the family of Felidae. But dog is there. Dog is belong to Canada family. Okay. Dog is belong to Canada. So let us see one more one we are going to study here. The family is our, and so let us see once again I will tell you that hierarchy is very important for you. And so in this one, so we discussed species is completed, genus is over with relevant examples, and family is over. All these related families are included in the order. So let us see what is the order. So order means so order polynomial. A group of related families is nothing but see here in this assemblage of related families. A group of related families is called order. Okay. Examples here they're given for you. Order polynomials means under this order different families can be included. So convolvulaceae family and Solanaceae family. Just now only we discussed. Solanaceae and Solanaceae is a different family. Convolvulaceae is a different family. Both can be included in a order of polynomials. In a order of polynomials. So it's very important. And one more we'll discuss here. And after that, suppose carnivora. This is an order. Carnivora means what are the generally carnivores? These are flesh eating or meat eating organisms. You can say simply these are strictly non-vegetarians. And where what happens is carnivora, which include the family of Felidae and Canidae. Just now only I told you. Dog. So I think dog is the enemy for the cat because a dog is belong to different family and the cat is belong to different family. So this carnivore means what flesh eating organisms and this order which includes different families, Felidae and Canidae. Okay, under this Felidae, what happens which includes what you call here, tigers will come, lions will come, leopards will come, different kinds of organisms, and cats will come, dog will come, etc. So next one is class. So all orders can be assembled in a class. So let us see here order primata. So that means where order is primata. So I'm going to write here that order name is primata, where different kinds of classes can be included. The class here. Let us see here. Sorry, let's take mammalia. Mammalia means what here? Milk giving organisms. Okay. Next. So order is primata and carnivora. Carnivora is a separate example actually. Carnivora is an order. Okay, and this order can be included in a class. Okay, so carnivora and displaced order primata and carnivora can be placed in a class of mammalia. So listen student, all orders can be assembled in a class. So primata is a separate order. That means we are taking here primata is an order and carnivora. Carnivora also separate order. Both can be included in a class of mammalia. Mammalia means milk giving organisms. Okay. And next one is order polynomials and sapindials order. Both can be included in dicotyledonate. Means these are the dicot plants. Okay, and after that what happened here are different classes. Suppose these classes can be included in a phyla. As I told you, animals means if you want to represent animals means phyla or phylum, single means, and division in case of the plants. So for the animals we can call the name with the phylum, and division means plants. It's very important. Okay, so largest animal phyla means arthropoda. Okay, and second largest animal phyla is the mollusca, etc. So like that you need to remember. So don't call plant phylum, etc. Phylum means phylum means you can call with only animals. So with the examples we'll discuss here are classes like amphibia, reptilia, apes, mammalia, all come which comes under the phylum is chordata. Why? Because they possess notochord, and this dichotomy and monocotyledony are under the division of angiospermy. So angiospermy we're calling division. It's the division. So obviously what happened here, these all different phyla or division can be included in the highest category is which one here, kingdom. So you know that kingdom Plantae is different and Animalia is different. So in an examination point of view, so you need to remember the hierarchy from species to up to kingdom and with relevant examples as per NCERT. Okay, thank you very much, students.